What is culture and why does it matter? Culture can be defined as a mix of religion, language, history, customs, and traditions that form the identity of a society. Example: 2025 protests in France against the hijab law reflect a clash between secular values and Islamic identity, while the global spread of Korean K-pop shows how culture can become an influential form of soft power. The Clash of Civilizations theory by Huntington argues that future conflicts will be between civilizations rather than between states. The main civilizations according to Huntington include the Western civilization represented by America and Europe, the Islamic world, the Confucian Chinese world, the Hindu world, and others. Examples in 2025 include tensions between China and the West over Taiwan, which reflect a conflict of values between democracy and the Chinese model, and the debates over the banning of the niqab in some European states. Cultural globalization raises the question of whether it unifies or fragments societies. On the positive side, cultures integrate, such as Indian restaurants in London or Turkish TV dramas in the Arab world. On the negative side, globalization is resisted, such as the boycott Starbucks movement in the Middle East in protest of its support for Israel. A vivid example was the 2024 protests of Indian farmers against the American company Monsanto, reflecting resistance to economic and cultural domination. Religion remains a powerful cultural force. The most influential religions are Islam and Christianity as the most widespread, and Hinduism as the most nationally tied. Contemporary examples include Putin's use of the Orthodox Church to strengthen Russian identity and the role of Islamic movements in the politics of Turkey and Iran. A striking statistic is that 70% of armed conflicts in 2025 have sectarian or religious backgrounds, such as the crisis of the Rohingya in Myanmar. Challenges of culture in today's world are many. Migration and multiculturalism are evident in the migrant crisis between Poland and Belarus. The clash between authenticity and globalization appears in France's ban on Islamic dress in schools. The political exploitation of culture can be seen in China's use of national unity narratives to suppress the Uyghurs. Looking to the future of culture in international politics, three possible scenarios emerge. The first is the escalation of cultural conflicts with the rise of populism in the West and fundamentalism in the East. The second is the triumph of globalization, which erases cultural differences in favor of a uniform consumerist culture. The third is a reconciliatory model where strong local cultures coexist with moderate globalization, as in the case of Malaysia. A quick cultural map shows the West characterized by individualism and secularism, the Islamic world by a collective religious identity, and Asia by a balance between modernity and tradition. To understand cultural events, three questions help. What values are at stake, such as freedom of expression versus respect for beliefs? Who benefits economically, such as Netflix competing against local platforms? And what are the historical roots? For example, the Indian-Pakistani conflict rooted in colonial partition. Culture is not just songs and fashion, it is a political weapon, a collective identity, and a source of both conflict and cooperation. With regards from Al Salam Channel, your companion in understanding international politics.